Welcome to the Airgun Show, brought to you by Airgun World magazine. Now you should be able to find magazine subscription details in the show description. So in this week's episode, I'm taking a look at the Konus Eternity telescopic sight, but before that, I'm heading out rabbit shooting. Right, I'm going to be out on the rabbits this evening, and this is actually quite an interesting permission because it's a wedding venue. Now the rabbits here have been causing a lot of damage on the lawns, and apart from just making a mess, it's also potentially quite dangerous because some of their scrapes are quite deep, and bearing in mind that wedding receptions tend to happen in the night when it's dark, there's a serious risk of somebody turning an ankle over. Hence the reason for them wanting the rabbits thinned out, if not completely got rid of here. I did actually come for a recce yesterday evening, a nice sunny evening. There were quite a few rabbits out enjoying the sun, all along one particular area where the grass is kept very short, and I think that's probably the spot that I'm going to focus on this evening, and I will do that with a static ambush. Now I know a lot of you like to know about the kit that we use, so what I'll do is I will run through the kit now, but we'll tack that onto the end of the hunting session so that we can get straight into the action now. Well, that one was actually on the embankment, which is just up behind the main area of grass. Just under 40 metres for that shot. Now I've actually got this set up zeroed at 40 metres, so it only needed a tiny bit of hold under. That's two in the bag already, so it's going well. In fact, one thing worth me pointing out is this being a wedding venue, we're having to be quite discreet about not revealing the location, so apologies for the fact that we're keeping the shots of my shooting position quite tight. It's 2 out. Well, there's another one. You'll probably have noticed that there were 2 rabbits out at the same time then, and I actually chose to go for the bigger one, working on the premise that apart from being a better size for the pot, the bigger ones are also currently doing the most damage. nice clean kill there. It was about 35 metres, which I've got to say most of them have been at this evening, and they've been in quite a tight area. And as I said earlier, that sort of distance, the way I've got this set up, it's needing just a little bit of hold under. Now, the nice thing is, not only is this a very accurate setup, but I'm shooting prone. I've got the stability of a bipod. It's a relatively calm evening, so taking these shots is very, very straightforward. And another great thing about an ambush like this is you've got the added stealth. I'm low to the ground, I'm well off the skyline. Obviously I've got my head net on. I'm not even convinced that that's essential this evening. And I'm not moving around trying to creep within range of these rabbits, so there's none of that disturbance. So if you find yourself in a situation like this when you're targeting rabbits in a relatively confined area, it can be a really effective way to do it. Well, that was a slightly closer one, and it's also going to be the last one because we're running out of light. I absolutely love ambushing rabbits like this, but I've got to say I am well ready to get up and have a stretch. I'm going to get these rabbits picked up, and we will leave you with that roundup of the kit that I've been using this evening. So, the kit for tonight's rabbit shoot. The gun is the FX Panthera, or Panthera if you prefer. This is the Hunter Compact model, and I really, really like it. Now, it's a nice light air gun, and as its name suggests, it's also very compact. This one is FAC rated, but I'm only running it at about 20 foot-pounds, and in all honesty, I'm using it over the same sort of ranges that I would be using at sub 12, but it just means that I can use a slightly heavier pellet without the trajectory becoming too curvy in 2.2 caliber, and it's also just a little bit better in the wind. Ammo wise, I've actually paired it at the moment with the JTS Dead Center, the 18 grain version. Really nice clean pellets, and they're producing really nice consistently tight groups with this gun, and to me that is the top priority. Whatever power output you've got, accuracy has to come first. So the scope is the Hawke Sidewinder 30 SF. I've had it paired with this gun for quite some time now. You may well have seen me using it before. It's a really nice scope, very nice bright sharp sight picture. Now I say this all the time, you can get some loss of image quality when you're using a scope cam, as I will be this evening. Hopefully what you see through it will be as good as what I usually see through it. I've got the scope held on with Sports Match scope mounts, which I've got absolute faith in. I've used them for decades. The only other piece of kit that I've got is my little Hawke rangefinder, which for an ambush of the type that I'm going to be, or by the time you've seen this, have been doing this evening, it's really imperative to know your distance to your targets because you're shooting from a fixed position. And what I tend to do is, as soon as I settle in, I will use the rangefinder to ping a few prominent objects. So it could be trees, fence posts, or whatever. And then I've got reference points that I know the distance to. So when the rabbits are coming out, I don't have to risk getting the rangefinder back out again and waving that around when I risk spooking them, because I've got those reference points that I can use to gauge the distance to wherever those rabbits are. So that's the kit. All being well, you've just seen me putting it to good use on the rabbits. Great to be back out on the rabbits there. Next up, I'm taking a look at a brilliant first focal plane scope from Konus. Right, I've got a lovely scope here this week. It is the Konus Eternity 6-24 by 50. Distributed in the UK by Range-Right. This is a first focal plane scope with some really handy features. It is a quality optic, but it's still pretty reasonably priced with a recommended retail price of £449. The first thing to strike me about this scope was its nice, clean design. It should certainly be easy to keep clean. Now, it's been made to withstand the rigours of field use. It's waterproof, fog-proof, and shock-proof. Furthermore, the special coatings on its lenses even include hydrophobic properties to dispel droplets of water. Those coatings also improve optical performance, as does the 30mm tube and large 50mm objective lens. Now, those factors deliver good light transmission, which results in a bright sight picture, which stays sharp right to the edges. Now, I have used the Eternity in a wide range of light conditions, including hunting at dusk, and it's given a really good account of itself. Another nice feature for shooting in poor light is the illuminated reticle. Now, it's operated by the outer dial on the left-hand turret, and it lights up red in 11 levels of brightness to give you clear aim points against dark backgrounds. Now, it even has a power-saving auto off feature, and it's kicked back into action by a motion sensor. The engraved reticle is described as a ballistic PRS design. Now, the elements are brought into sharp relief with a quick turn of the fast focus eyebell, and I really like it. It has plenty of different reference points to compensate for the effect of gravity and wind on the trajectory of your pellet, but it isn't overly complicated and it doesn't obscure the target. Also, because this is a first focal plane scope, the reticle changes size in proportion with the target as you zoom in and out. Now, that means that all of your aim points remain the same, whatever magnification you've got it set on. This scope's magnification range is 6 to 20 times, which should cover pretty much everything that you'd want to throw at it. Now, the lower end of that scale gives you a wide field of view and fast target acquisition for closer range shooting, whereas the higher end gives you a lot of magnification for precision long range shooting. Now, the notched zoom dial turns nice and smoothly, but the scope even comes supplied with a screw-in throw lever to make it even easier. One of the real standout features on the Konus Eternity is its chunky, low-profile, resettable windage and elevation turrets. Now, you pull them up to unlock them, and they then turn with really positive clicks, each one of those amounting to 1/10 MOA, and that makes for really fine adjustment. Once you've zeroed, you then simply snap them back down to lock them securely into position. Now, furthermore, the top turret can actually be swapped out for a zero lock turret. Now, what that one enables you to do is dial in to adjust your aim point for long range targets, but it then ensures that it stops dead on your previously set zero when you wind it back. Other features include side parallax adjustment. Now that's operated by the inner dial on the left-hand turret, and it focuses in from eternity right down to less than 10 yards, so this scope is absolutely perfect for airgun use. Now you also get some really handy bits and pieces in the box. I've already mentioned the screw-in throw lever for the zoom dial. You also get a neat little tool which makes really quick, easy work of swapping out that top turret. You get your usual lens cloth and lens covers, and there's also a screw-in extended sunshade. Now, apart from improving optical performance, that can also prevent bright sunlight from glinting off the objective lens and potentially spooking wary quarry. In terms of its proportions, this is a fairly large scope at just over 38 centimeters long, and it weighs 833 grams. Now you can see that it makes for a pretty good pairing with the Reximex Pretensis that I've got it on here, but I think it should also be fine on smaller guns. Now I've already mentioned its clean, simplistic design, but one simple feature that really shouldn't be taken for granted is the smooth finish of the ocular bell. Now, being free from any stepped notches or other embellishments makes really easy work of attaching either a scope camera or night vision add-on. So that is the Konus Eternity 6-24x50 first focal plane scope. It isn't cheap, but I believe that it still represents good value for money given its quality. And because it hasn't got any extravagant whistles and bells on it, you can rest assured that a big part of your spend is going on optical quality, and that is the really important thing. It is a great all-rounder, and it's certainly worth a look if you're in the market for a decent telescopic sight. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this week's episode, but as ever, I'll be back again with more in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, do check out those subscription offers that we have for Airgun World magazine. It includes shooting insurance, and there is also a discount for viewers. You'll find the link to that in the show description. While you're there, also sign up for the Airgun World newsletter, which will keep you bang up to date with everything going on in the magazine. And finally, if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits that you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership. As I said, I'm back again with more in a fortnight, and also we've got the Airgun World podcast out this Friday. So, in the meantime, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.
BASC provides for me as a member one voice.
It's the one organisation that does it all for me.
BASC is community.
We are BASC.
We are BASC.
We are BASC.